Hi there guys, and welcome back to a brand new match review here on the channel. My name is James, and today we're going to go ahead and sit down and talk to you guys about Reading's 0-0 draw with league leaders Birmingham City. That's right, top of the table, Blues were at the SCL today as there was a 12:30 kickoff live on Sky Sports Plus. And I've got to say, for any neutrals out there watching, they wouldn't have known who the top of the table side were. Reading were absolutely outstanding in this fixture and definitely gave the fight to Birmingham, and that's twice now this season where the performance against the Blues has been fantastic by the Royals. Obviously, we went away at St Andrews and came away with a 1-1 draw, only thanks to a last-minute penalty from Alfie May. And today, arguably, Reading could have came away with all 3 points again. Look, I think the chances were there for Reading, whether it was a strong hand from Allsop or shots dragging wide. Reading had the opportunities to come away with all 3 points. Now, look, I'm not deluded, so don't get me wrong. Birmingham definitely should have scored in this fixture. Lyndon Dykes, what were you doing just outside the 6-yard box? I don't know why he hasn't just buried that into the roof of the net, but instead he's tried passing it almost into the back of the net, and then Benge has had an absolutely outstanding block on the line for Reading. But look, Reading had opportunities to win this game today, and I thought, yeah, the performance overall was just superb. Now, in terms of the starting 11 that the Royals went with today, Noel Hunt selected Joel Pereira to play in goal, while we saw Michael Craig, Tyler Bindon, Amadou Mbenge and Andre Garcia across the back four. The midfield trio of Lewis Wing, Harvey Nibbs and Charlie Savage remained, as we saw Chem Campbell and Mamadi Kamara play out wide. Normally, Eheb Achman's out wide, but he was converted from winger to striker for this fixture as he led the line. Now, in terms of the first half, there wasn't massive amounts of opportunities that came in this first 45. I thought Reading really held their own against Birmingham and really negated them from creating anything massively attacking in that first half. In terms of first half performances, I thought Harvey Nibbs was absolutely outstanding during the first period. I thought he was just brilliant. His high press was great for Reading and actually created an opportunity for the Royals 35 minutes into the game. He robbed the ball off Song Ho just outside the box and eventually won himself a corner. From the resulting corner, Chem Campbell headed the ball and it just went over the bar. Before that 35th minute, Reading did have a couple of half chances that kind of went their way. Mamadi Kamara had a header which was eventually judged to have been offside, which went wide, and he also had a long range strike which was just a bit feeble and just a little bit pathetic really, as Allsop was easily able to gather that. Birmingham had a few half chances themselves. I think Lyndon Dykes was just on the end, or just not on the end, sorry, from a cross. The biggest opportunity of the half came, I think it was in the 41st minute, when Willem Williamson had a chance to make it 1-0 to Birmingham before the break. A cross from the left-hand side came in, and Williamson, who was a substitute for, I think, who came off injured, was right, and he had a chance where he was unmarked in the box, but he scuffed his shot. It's gone flying up in the air and ended up being an easy catch for Joel Pereira. That's one thing I do want to touch on, is that Birmingham, you could tell that they were a little bit leggy and a little bit fatigued, and that maybe injuries will start to hit this side. Almost every player went down injured at some point during this fixture. Look, I'm not saying that that was their game plan going in, because it definitely wasn't, and it definitely wasn't the game plan throughout the game either. But you could kind of see the fatigue setting into the Birmingham players, as look, they had 2 people go off with injuries during the game and a handful of players go down during the game as well. Now look, is that because of their Saturday, Tuesday schedule? Definitely. Now, in terms of the second half, Birmingham definitely came out and looked like the better of the two teams in the first 10 minutes. They started to create opportunities and started to create more things for themselves, which they weren't doing in that first half. Whether it was fast 1-2s or whether it was just trying to put dangerous balls into the box, we started to see a change in Chris Davis's side, but it was actually Reading that came away with the first opportunity of the half. It was 55 minutes when Lewis Wing had a strike from the right-hand side. It was a really hard, powerful strike, not just outside the box, but outside the box, maybe about 25-30 yards out, but it was a really strong hand from Ryan Allsop which was able to save it, and eventually Reading got a corner. Now look, a couple of minutes later, that's where Birmingham had that absolutely massive opportunity. Now it should have been 1-0 to the Blues, but luckily for Reading it wasn't. Now they had the ball on the right hand side, their right hand side, and a cross came in inside the 6-yard box from, I think it was Keshi Anderson, and Lyndon Dykes, who should have buried the opportunity into the roof of the net, hasn't. He's had like a little pass shot almost, and Amadou Mbenge has been able to clear it off the line. Luckily for Reading, it didn't go in, and 0-0 was what the scoreline stayed at that point. Now 74 minutes in, Reading had a big opportunity themselves. It was Campbell Wareham who had the chance for Reading. He came off the bench for Kelvin Ehibachiman following, I think it was maybe a clash of heads where it was the geezer on the right-hand side, Ethan Laird, and Ehibachiman, who both clashed heads. It meant that Kelvin went off injured and Wareham came on and arguably with his first touch could have scored. It was a shot which just dragged wide and for me was probably Reading's best opportunity of the fixture. 81 minutes in and another substitute, this time for Birmingham, had a big chance. It was Alfie May who was the man who had the opportunity. He came on for the injured Lyndon Dykes, who pulled a hammy when running up. But either way, Alfie May had the opportunity. It was through on goal and Michael Craig did some superb defending and ran back to block the shot. Reading in the 82nd minute had another opportunity themselves. Chem Campbell, this time going close. A cross came in and a header came in just outside the 6-yard box for Reading, but it was parried by Allsop. And Reading ended up getting that 0-0 draw. There was 7 minutes of added time, but nothing major happened in that added time where there was no opportunities created for either side. And I've got to say, Joel Pereira really wasn't made to work during this game. There was no chance really where Joel Pereira had to make any big saves or anything like that. And arguably for Ryan Allsop as well, maybe that Lewis Wing chance and the Chem Campbell one. But look, both goalkeepers really weren't worked too hard in this game. But Birmingham definitely had the better of the opportunities of the two teams. But Reading created more. So it's an interesting one. I think both sides will come away saying we could have got all 3 points, but they'll arguably both be happy with a point too. Now, what does this do for Reading? Well, that's 50 points on the board now. There's still fixtures being played as we talk now, so I'm not going to run through the league table. Birmingham continue to run away with the league, so I won't even bother showing the league table here. But in terms of man of the matches, I've got to say Amadou Mbenge, Harvey Nibbs and Michael Craig were outstanding for me today. I thought Craig was brilliant at right back. I thought he did a really good job. I thought Mbenge was outstanding as well throughout this fixture. And I thought Harvey Nibbs had a great first 45, tired in that second half, but yeah, I thought all 3 men were absolutely fantastic. Shout out to Andre Garcia as well at left back today. I thought he had a good game. In terms of Birmingham performers, I've got to say Keshi Anderson was definitely the best man on the pitch for them today. You could really see that he is a creative threat going forward. That's going to be it for this one today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. My name's been James, and we'll see you all again very soon. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.